Hello everybody and welcome to the Blue Oval Car Barn. We're here in beautiful downtown Mineral Wells, Texas, right down the street from the baker, and we're right underneath the Crazy Water sign. Today we've got a treat for you. We've got the New Zealand Mustang Club, or the Touring Mustang Club from New Zealand, however you want to say it, making a trip around Texas, a loop of Texas, coming to all the interesting car joints and Texas locations they can feed. They're going to tour the car barn today. Noddy Watts and his group flew in from New Zealand, rented convertible modern Mustangs, and they're making a tour around Texas. They're going to come tour the car barn. We're going to show some video, teach them about American culture, American hot rods, American classic cars, American muscle cars, and Texas in general. Let's get started, and then I'll be back to you to wrap it up. I'm born and raised here, fourth generation, so Fort Worth was like a big deal to us to go to Fort Worth. I've got a picture of me when I was this big in a big cowboy hat standing on a table at a Mexican food place over there, and so my parents took me over there. That was like a big trip. We never went to New Zealand. Fort Worth was as far as I ever got to get my teeth worked on or to get a taco or a cowboy hat. An interesting story about that is I took my boys to the hat maker there where my father used to take me. It's called Peter Brothers, and it's a place that's well known for original country hats, Western hats, and it's been there forever. So I took my boys there, and they're bigger than me now, when they got out of college, and we walked in and I had them measured, had them all three built up, had to pick out whatever hat they want. And when I told them who I was, and my last time I was there was with my father when I was a little bitty guy, they went back and they brought out my father's mold.
Oh, really?
So cool.
For my father's hat, and it fit.
That's a good test.
So they actually had the cutout cardboard mold from my father from the 50s, still in the back, you know, in file, you know, and they put my name underneath it too, you know. So anyway, I've been here. I was born here. 2 blocks from here, there's a hospital. That's where I was born, and I made it 2 blocks. You know, that's how far I've made it. And I've been collecting and building cars my whole life. I had a 70 Torino and a 71 Mustang just when I got out of high school, and I had a 65 Mustang and a Corvair, Chevy Corvair, when I was in high school. So I started with a 71 M-Code 4-speed. How many of you people have Mustangs back home? Some, a few, enough. Any older ones or all new stuff?
Both.
Older ones, good, okay. Well, I have a 12 and a 13 Boss 302, and I just ordered a new Mustang Dark Horse. So I'm moving into the modern Mustang world because we have a lot of clubs that come here that they won't allow any old cars in them anymore. So there's a club coming here next weekend. You have to have a 2000, you have to have an EcoBoost Mustang to get in the club. I guess they got banished from the other clubs, so they have their own club now, and they don't let anybody else anyway. So I've ordered one where I can, a Dark Horse anyway, where I can at least travel around with them.
When are you expecting to get that, Finley?
November.
November? Yeah.
Grabber blue, black interior, but I bought an automatic one. I didn't buy a 4-speed one because I'm going to cruise in it, and I'm not going to. I got plenty of 4-speed cars. So I have about 70 cars. Excuse me. I have some cars, and shouldn't say that. And I keep them in warehouses here locally, and then we substitute them. Yesterday we changed out about half the cars. So we change out the cars every 6 months or so, and then people come and look at them, and then I sit here and I get a Coke and a pizza, and I think about a new setup, and then we move them all around, and it's kind of a game we play. But we keep open and people come and see them, and basically a 71 collector because I'm too big to fit in the 67, 68, 69s, and 70s. So I was kind of I'm a 71 guy, and that's all I deal with. I do have 64 and a half through 2013s, but I have some of everything. But basically I collect, I have some Cougars, I have some Torinos, a Falcon, other things other than just Mustangs. But
Motorcycles?
yeah, I was a motorcycle guy and a hot rod guy when I grew up. These are mostly bikes I had or still have from my youth, and I rode that one yesterday. I probably shouldn't have said that either. Yeah, because I don't have a helmet here. But this is what we do. Is I do 6 cars at a time. Okay, I have about 15 project cars left, maybe 20, and I told my wife at 70 I would start doing only one at a time. So I've got 1 year and 10 months left. So I'm still doing 6 at a time. I have 2 in metal repair, 2 in paint, and 2 in assembly. So basically I put out 2 cars, maybe twice a year, maybe. 2.5, probably 2.5, 3.5. I probably don't really get 4, but close to two cars twice a year. 2 just came out a month ago. I got them next door. I'm going to do a little presentation on them for you and show them to you. They just were finished. Now when a car's finished, it's never finished. So every one of them has things wrong with it. Most of the things I only know about, but it drives me crazy. So I spend all my life getting my cars better than they currently are. That's the only task I have. And if you guys know what I'm talking about that are in this world, I just constantly try to get the cars I have better than they are today. So we take them out, we drive them up to temperature, we write down everything that's wrong with them, we take them next door for maintenance and do maintenance on them, then we stack them up, and then in about 6 months we put another mix out there. All my restoration work is done elsewhere. The only thing I do here is take them apart, and then I do the maintenance here, right here. My metal shop is away from here, my paint and body shop. But I have 1.5 metal guys, I have 2 paint and body guys, and 1 assembly guy.
They work for you?
Full time. Then I have 1 guy that works for me in maintenance.
1.5 metal guys.
Is it dwarf?
Well,
He lost the hat.
it's a guy and his son goes to college, so I get him about half the time, summers and weekends, And there's every car has a story, and the story is the find it, the negotiation, the getting it home, the trailer blowing up, the truck blowing up, bringing it home, getting it home, storing it, people trying to steal it, everybody trying to stop you at every gas station between here and Alabama trying to buy it from you, people following you down the road saying pull over, and then the car will sit here for years while I find the parts. Once I find all the parts, I start. I don't start on a car until I have all the parts, and that might be 10 years. The average is probably 8 or 10 years. Because if you start before you have the parts, a long time ago, you have a lot of parts you never can finish, cars, that you just never can get them done. So I wait till I find everything, or at least I know where I can get it. Because you'll come down to a particular place, and you may have to spend a lot of money for that part. The guy wants $3,000 for it, so you continually look for it. Then you get to that position on the car and you have to bite the bullet and go buy it. So basically, I spend all my time hunting parts, preparing parts, because all the parts are date coded. So I have to find a part, every part has to be built within 90 days of the car. So, not after the car,
Within 90 days.
before the car.
Wow.
Yeah. There are a few pieces, there are a few casted pieces that may be longer than that, but basically there's about a 90-day rule on the pieces.